policies. That's why, at this juncture, we have no plan to establish a separate high-level group. Thank you.
Government Bill, first reading. Companies Amendment No. 2 Bill 2024, Inland Revenue Amendment Minimum Tax for Multinational Enterprise Group Bill 2024, second reading, Secretary for Financial Services and the Treasury. President, I move the second reading of the Companies Amendment No. 2 Bill 2024. In relation to international tax and regulatory developments in recent years, for instance, the BEPS 2.0 proposals require that in-scope large multinational enterprise groups pay a global minimum tax of 15%. Also, the imposition of the economic substance requirements by some jurisdictions in recent years on the locally incorporated or registered companies have increased the compliance burden of the offshore enterprises. All these have created a demand for companies to redomicile to Hong Kong. Companies redomiciled to Hong Kong help boost demand for local professional services and create investment and job opportunities. Redomiciled companies can benefit from Hong Kong's open and efficient corporate governance systems, simple tax regime, world-class professional services, as well as easier access to the vibrant economies in the mainland and the Asian region. The redomiciliation mechanisms introduced in Hong Kong for open-ended fund companies and limited partnership funds have been operating smoothly since their launch in November 2021. Also, some other commercial centers have already put in place company redomiciliation regimes. We therefore see the opportunity to introduce a company redomiciliation regime applicable to companies in general, so as to respond to the market demand. This will bring in companies that wish to redomicile to Hong Kong and create impetus for the development of the local market. The bill proposes to amend the Companies Ordinance to introduce a company redomiciliation regime to facilitate non-Hong Kong incorporated companies to redomicile to Hong Kong. These companies will be allowed to maintain their legal identity as a body corporate to ensure their business continuity. This will save them from the complex and costly judicial procedures. The key features of the mechanism include the following. 1. Risk management. Applicant companies must fulfill requirements in relation to corporate background, integrity, solvency, and protection of members and creditors. The registrar of companies will be given power to refuse an application on the ground that the applicant company, upon its redomiciliation to Hong Kong, is likely to be used for purposes that are unlawful or contrary to public interest. 2. Application process. A non-Hong Kong company will become a redomiciled company on the day when it is issued the certificate of redomiciliation. It will enjoy broadly the same rights as any Hong Kong incorporated companies of their kind and will be required to comply with the requirements under the Companies Ordinance. Within 120 days after the issuance of the certificate, the redomiciled company must deregister from its original domicile, failing which its registration in Hong Kong may be revoked by the company's registry. And 3. The identity of a redomiciled company. Apart from the exceptions set out under the bill, a redomiciled company will, in general, be treated in the same way as a Hong Kong incorporated company. The bill seeks to amend the Companies Ordinance, its subsidiary legislation, and 39 other pieces of legislation to clarify their application to redomiciled companies. This is to ensure that redomiciled companies will be treated in the same way as locally incorporated companies under these ordinances. In addition, in view of the fact that the regulatory regimes of the insurance and banking sectors impose different regulatory requirements on Hong Kong incorporated and non-Hong Kong incorporated entities, the bill will amend, among other things, the insurance ordinance and the banking ordinance to require the entities concerned to communicate with the regulators in Hong Kong before applying for redomiciliation, so as to enable the regulators to assess in advance whether they would be able to meet the relevant requirements upon redomiciliation. President, we have extensively consulted the Electrical Panel on Financial Affairs, members of the public and stakeholders, including business chambers, professional associations, relevant advisory bodies, individual firms, and companies on the legislative proposals. We gave an account of the outcome of the public consultation in the middle of last year. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank members of Electrical, professional bodies, and the public for their support and valuable views on the proposal. We're tabling this bill to Electrical, and their views have been considered and incorporated into the bill. Attracting foreign enterprises, investments, and talents to Hong Kong is a major policy focus of the current term government. The introduction of the company redomiciliation regime is a realization of the objectives of our corporate governance policy. I urge LegCo to pass the bill so that the regime can be implemented as soon as possible. This will respond to market demand, attract investment, and enhance the competitiveness of the local market, and further consolidate Hong Kong's position as an international business and financial center. I so submit. Thank you, President. I now propose the question to you that the aforesaid bill be read the second time. In accordance with the rules of procedure, the second reading debate is adjourned and the bill is referred to the House Committee.
뽑죠.
Secretary for Financial Services and the Treasury.